Look, I simply didn't have the education. I'm not a narcissist. I don't have, you know, behavioral disorder. I simply didn't experience what everyone else did. Okay, George Washington didn't have those opportunities because of King George seeks Washington for Royal Navy. So he is placated with this conspiracy, like Richard Nixon, a name game for me. It's elementary, okay, and it's about innocent people, okay, and if people are, I've been embarrassed by stuff that I've seen and heard in the top media my whole life. Okay, I guess people didn't understand what they're doing. Just like, oh, see, we're Christian, they're Jewish type of thing, or vice versa, which is completely naive. Um, and because my uncle, my dad's little brother, got to go to high school on the East Coast, and he had a very completely different lifestyle. So he had that education via geography, just by being away from the Wild West, the frontier. Um, that's the reality. Okay, and my aunt as well. They're the civilized portion of my family. Everyone else grew up in the Midwest, and there is this is the blue badge at the end of World War II. People who are have personality disorders are discharged in places like San Francisco and Chicago, and was it Al Capone? Sort of, if we have excuses. We know that you guys live out there, and we're willing to scapegoat our own people. It's okay. So this embarrassment, the heckling. Okay, I bring something up, someone else goes, "Oh no, no, we're doing that," and next thing you know, there's radical, crazy things happening. All right, I didn't do that. That was done to me because the name game. Because everyone is naive. They just don't. If you don't have an immigrant relative, my grandfather had that. All my grandparents had that. They had immigrant grandparents themselves. And I believe that deals were made for them by their immigrant grandparents. So you could say you have to have a plan, but you actually have to have deals, and you can keep that a secret. Indeed, a sweet conspiracy that immigrant people who have a big sister in America, this is the luck of America, actually. This is the inventor. In Europe, it's the opposite. It's um, and people who have a biological father in America, you're cursed. This is King George, and George Washington, um, still has, even though his father dies, he has a single American mother, very powerful, um, but he still has a solid father figure and contention and militant military occupation. All these things line up to create excuses. Okay, and it's not me. It's not the individual. It's purely if they had the right statistics. If people said, "Oh, Benny and Jenny, Ben Franklin, let's give him a scholarship. Bobby Fischer, let's give him a scholarship before he goes completely expletive nuts." That's what happens. He's simply polarized.